It's the NFL on EA Sports, and we've got the latest chapter of a historic rivalry. It's the Niners and the Hawks, and it's coming up next on Madden Football.
It is a sound like no other when they raise that 12th man flag here in Seattle, and we just heard it, and that means it's time for football at Lumen Field.
Up in the booth with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, and kickoff straight ahead, CD. What's one thing that you're going to have your eye on?
I think about what the great coaches of the past always said, the key to any ball game. Can you rush theirs and protect yours? Well, in this case, both of these teams get after the quarterbacks. I'm watching the pass rush.
Now the Michigan man, Jake Moody, to get us started.
And off we go from Seattle.
And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line.
So out come the Seahawks now for their first possession.
As we take a peek at Sam Darnold, the former USC Trojan and third pick in the 2018 draft.
And the thing with Sam Darnold is we know the skill set is there. May not be the most mobile or strongest arm quarterback in the league, but usually plays with really good poise, and at his best, like a point guard in basketball, able to move around and distribute the rock.
In motion goes the tight end. First play and a first pass coming for Darnold. Throw out wide to Walker. Give him 3 there on the first play of the game, and it's second down.
Well, offensively, that's the mismatch that you want. You want to force a linebacker to try and cover your back out of the backfield, out in some open space. But linebackers nowadays, they run like backs, and they take a lot of pride in covering. What a nice play he made there in the open field.
Play action. It's Darnold. Open man. That's Noah Fant, the tight end. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. First down, Seattle on a pickup of 13. Well, the first drive here and the first time that we've called a big tight end's name, but I can assure you this, Charles, it won't be the last.
No, it won't, because when he gets going, now it opens up opportunities on the perimeter because that'll draw the defense towards him in the middle of the field. Now your wide receivers will get involved as this game goes on.
Now we're going to get a timeout here as it looks like there's a Seahawk injured on the play.
While they come out and take a look at him, we will step aside for just a moment. From the 46-yard line, a second down and 6.
Faking the give, Darnold. And the Niners get there and bring him down.
But Nick Bosa so quick on the outside, he gets in there to bring him down.
Chalk that one up to bad acting, I guess, because they certainly failed to sell the handoff, and the pressure stayed keyed in on the quarterback. No Oscar awards for this offense, just a loss of yardage.
Third and 12. Darnold down to throw.
No one there to help out downfield, but no problem. Scrambling for 22 and a first.
After the sack, you could understand it maybe being a little bit nervous back there, a little skittish, but looked awfully decisive when he took off and ran.
Very decisive and picked up that first down in the process. So from inside Niner territory now, this is 1st and 10 at the 38. In motion, the tight end.
Walker now on 1st and 10. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. Second down. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
2nd and 7. Sticking with Walker on 2nd down. And he'll be a little shy of the 25 here at the 26-yard line. That one, a first down pickup of 8.
Well, there's plenty of real estate for him to maneuver on that run, and let's face it, it shouldn't be a surprise. He's one of the better backs in the league. Had to come into this game with the idea, slow him down, otherwise it's going to be a long afternoon.
And they'll send the tight end in motion here. And they'll try the air now with Darnold. And the coverage terrific there as that's knocked down and incomplete.
Yeah, their back's up against the wall a little bit, and they come through by forcing an incompletion. Now they've got to continue to ratchet up the intensity a couple of more times and get off the field before giving up any more yardage.
Now a 2nd and 10. Straight ahead, Walker. And he's going to have this pretty close to a first down as the tackle is made at the Niners 17. 9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1. The impressive opening drive continues and just space being created by those guys up front.
We're seeing this the same way, aren't we? We are seeing an offensive line, as this game gets started, as it starts to unfold, that they are dominating the line of scrimmage.
And he picks up the first down yardage as he takes this one down to the 15. A 3rd down gain of 3 yards, and that'll be enough. If you make the stop there, maybe you hold them to 3 on this opening drive. They didn't get the stop.
Yeah, new set of downs now. Now you're worried about, just as you pointed out, not just giving up 3, possibly giving up 6. Let's see what they decide to do here because they've got to change up what they have been doing. It hasn't been working.
And he'll get about 3 just outside the 10, stopped at the 11.
I like the call. Inside the red zone, running the toss. Why? They want to get to the edges. They want to see if guys who don't normally make a lot of tackles are willing to actually do that. That usually means the guy's in the cornerback position.
Here's 2nd and 7. To throw is Darnold. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down.
No surprise at all. They're looking for the big man early in this one. The only surprise for them, he couldn't hang on to the pass.
The 13th play now coming on this opening drive. Here's 3rd down. Now it's Darnold. To the goal line, but it's incomplete. So 2 3rd down conversions on this drive, but not able to get a 3rd, and now they deal with 4th down.
Anytime they think they've got him open beyond the markers, you know they're going to throw it his way. And that's not going to change even after that incompletion was forced.
Jason Myers for the Seahawks field goal. A 28-yard attempt.
Myers' kick is good. And the Seahawks grab a 3-0 lead. Well, after marching down the field, only getting 3 there, kind of feels like a win for the defense.
And it does. They'll go to the sideline feeling a lot better that they didn't give up a touchdown after the march against them. But if I were the offense, I wouldn't hang my head over that one. That's a good drive, and 3 points were put on the board.
Myers now converted on the field goal try. Now he's on to kick it away. The lane opens here. He's past the 30. And he's all the way up across the 40 and down at the 42. Great return. So here's the first drive now for the 49ers. And trotting out there leading them is their 4th-year quarterback.
This is what this man was born for, the big spotlight on the national stage like this. Really, his entire career, he's demonstrated incredible poise no matter what type of situation his team was in. No situation is too big for him, and you can tell in the way that he takes the field. His self-belief is evident, and he gets the job done in his mind each and every time.
Good starting field position for them as they come up 1st and 10 at their own 42. And not much there at all. Maybe a yard up to the 43.
No doubt about it. A really nice job there by the defense, not allowing him to get to the perimeter. But that means your defensive ends, your outside linebackers, the guys that you pay big money to sack the quarterback, they also have to have interest in the running game as well. And they did a nice job there of holding the point of attack and not giving ground.
They go play action here. Purdy
Steps away to his left. Give him 9 yards on the scramble there, but it does leave him still a few inches shy with third down looming.
That's an early scramble that can be viewed positively by either side. From the offensive point of view, it begins to establish it as a possibility to keep it on certain plays. And defensively, they avoided giving up a huge play in one of their first tests in containing a quarterback on the run.
They'll try and pick it up with McCaffrey, and he will have the first down as he gets this to the 47.
Well, it wasn't a goal line situation, but how about the goal line formation on 3rd and short? They went in, went heavy. No surprise on who was going to get the football. How about the power exhibited there?
Yeah, that was just put a hat on a hat, drive forward. Nice job to pick it up.
Now this time they'll throw it. Here's Purdy. He'll get this out wide here to McCaffrey.
And he's going to be brought down on what will be the final play of this first quarter.
3-0 after 1 on EA Sports. The 49ers with the football here to begin the second quarter, as they've got it with a 2nd and 3 forthcoming. Purdy looking to throw.
Hit as he throws there, incomplete.
Partner, what we're seeing so far is the defense is certainly coordinated. Both levels doing their jobs in tandem. The back helping the front helping the back. The pressure got home on that last play and forced him to try and throw through contact and short of the sticks.
Purdy from the gun on 3rd down.
Got a man right side, it's McCaffrey. So the completion gets him just a yard, and it'll be 4th down.
Well, it looks like they got what they wanted. They got the completion, but they weren't able to break any tackles or gain nearly enough yardage to pick up the first down. Now to be 4th and short.
On 4th down, the Niners trot out Mitch Wishnowski to punt the football.
And this one hits at the 1, continues on into the end zone for a touchback.
Seattle's offense coming back onto the field, ready for their second drive. Their drive last time, it stalled out. They were forced to take the short field goal.
And the key phrase, you nailed it, forced to, because you know coaches look at these short field goals as a last resort, right? To them, that's not how drives are supposed to end. You're supposed to put 6 on the board. That's a consolation prize, like going to the county fair. You don't get the big stuffed animal on that one, do you?
No, you don't go top shelf. That's bottom shelf material.
Fights forward for only about a yard up to the 21.
That felt like a trap because it looked to me like the opposing front was on that play from the get-go. They had everyone crashing the ball carrier before he even made the line, and they hold him to just a yard.
2nd and 9 now from the 21.
Sticking with Walker on 2nd down. And he can muster only a couple here to the 24.
Defensively, we always know that he is tough in run support, and I think the way that he gets there is he understands what an offense is going to do before the ball's even snapped. A great job of scouting prior to the game, then reading, reacting, and taking the right path to the ball carrier.
From the gun on 3rd down, here's Darnold. Going deep for Walker. And unable to connect. Incomplete. I'll give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
They geared up and took the deep shot downfield, but it turned out it wasn't one-on-one coverage. Extra defenders in the area, and that one winds up incomplete.
On 4th down, ready to punt, Michael Dixon. Jacob Cowing deep to receive it. Oh, good move. It's a 47-yard punt, return of 6. And the Niners will go on offense, 1st and 10. Back out there comes the 49ers offense ready for their second drive. The crowd may be losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach, can you hang in there and not try and force something that could put your team in some jeopardy?
And this defense able to plug him up there as he'll get a yard to the 35.
Yeah, things were pretty stacked up there in the middle of the line. A lot of bodies, not much space. I think ultimately he was fortunate to get anything out of that run.
From the 35, here's a 2nd down and 9. Throwing here, Purdy. They'll set up the screen to McCaffrey. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. And give him 9 yards on the 2nd down screen play.
And that doesn't have to gain big yardage to be an impactful play, because if you get those pass rushers second-guessing themselves that they might get hit with a screen, maybe you can wind up slowing them down just a step. And if you do that, that's a win for that play.
Purdy will set up to throw it here. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. His first catch, good for 8 and a 1st down.
A little football 101 there. You just see the receiver try to run down the defender, meaning he goes right at him and really trying to move him a little bit towards the center of the field so he can put his foot in the ground and break to the out, to the sideline, and make a catch.
They'll bring one of the tight ends in motion left. That's complete. It's Brandon Ayuk. Yeah, he'll be out just a yard or 2 shy of the 30. The Niners passing game in sync now. They've got another 1st down.
Well, that's what you're looking for when you want to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered, can uncover themselves downfield and create catches.
And he'll get this just inside the 30-yard line.
Give credit to the defense for stringing that play out, and they gave up no cutback angle. You know he was trying to dart through. No place for him to go. A nice job there, only giving up a 3-yard gain.
From the 29, here's a 2nd and 7. Here's Purdy. And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying him up defensively, and now it brings up 3rd down.
This is certainly a team that has proven it likes to target its backs through the air, and defensively, they were aware of that and certainly were prepared on that throw.
They got to get it to the 21 here on 3rd down. Play action, and now here's Purdy to throw it. Yeah, this defense rallies, and they stop him short of the 1st down right near the 24. He'll wind up getting 4 yards there on his own, but it also brings up 4th down.
That was a good effort there, trying to do it on his own, but as a defender, you're in a tough spot because you have coverage responsibilities behind you, and if you take off too quick to try and get him down, he might loft it over your head.
So better to track with your man defensively than try to go up and make a stop on the quarterback.
Exactly right. What you're hoping is that your guys in the front 7 can get him down.
On 4th down, here's Purdy. That is caught. And he's got a 1st down there after a gain of about 12 as the clock will stop right now for the 2-minute warning. A big pickup of 12 yards on 4th down to keep this drive from stalling. So this drive going to continue following the conversion on 4th. Here's 1st and 10. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Uchenna and Wosu got the sack there. But defensively on the previous play, they gave up a pretty good chunk of yardage, but right there, they got a good portion of it right back.
And if we just flip it around from the offensive perspective, took a nice step forward, and how about a couple of leaps backwards after that play? They've got to figure out a big call coming up here to try and gain that yardage back.
And the job becomes twice as difficult now. After the sack, it's 2nd and 20.
Purdy now to throw. Pass caught by Pearsall.
It'll go as a gain of 4. And they're going to be staring at a 3rd and long here.
But there wasn't much there with that hitch route. They didn't gain what they expected. But sometimes when you call a hitch, you really don't have an alternate to go to. You don't have a second route to throw it to. So sometimes you have to rifle in there and hope for the best.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And he's got it. Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts as the clock shows 50 seconds to play here in half number 1. Line of scrimmage, the 2. They can still get a first down if they just get a yard out of this on 4th and very short. They'll try and run for it. And he'll take this into the end zone for a San Francisco touchdown.
Isaac Guerrero
Taking it in from 2 yards out.
And the 49ers will take the lead here in the final minute of the first half. So they only needed a couple of feet there on 4th down, but they got more than that and then some as he takes this into the end zone.
And I love your description right there, right? 4th and short. They got that. No problem. Let's go ahead and get the rest of it. Finish it off in the end zone. Touchdown. Everyone goes away happy on that one.
Jake Moody now for the point after.
And this is up and good to make it 7-3. That one in the books as a 12-play drive. And it's culminated by a 2-yard touchdown run.
So here's Moody back out there now to send this one away. And the tackle going to be made right there at the 25-yard line. The Seahawks going to take over now late in this first half. And with them trailing, there is still enough time to try to string a few plays together, maybe get into field goal range.
Here's Darnold.
Finding Smith and Jigba downfield.
And he gets this to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. A gain of 32 that time.
Despite writing it down on my notes, I never give enough credit to the offensive line, and we have to here. The protection, that's what made this play a success. Quarterback had to wait for his crossing route to develop, and that takes a little bit of extra time. Excellent job by the big fellas up front.
Here's Darnold. Buying time to his left. Now the Seahawks call the second of their 3 timeouts as the clock will stop with just under 30 seconds to go in the first half. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Darnold.
And that's going to be incomplete.
And that's where you're counting on a receiver's size being an advantage. They were hoping he could go over the top of a smaller DB and haul that one in. A good thought, but that time it didn't work out.
2nd and 10.
Now Darnold. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete.
What will look like a march to the end zone has hit a momentary roadblock with that incompletion. No need to panic. They just got to come up with a high percentage play call and see if they can get their offense back on track.
This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. Back to throw, Darnold. Under pressure, and down he goes. They sack him back at the 36. He couldn't get away there on 3rd down. The pressure too much, and he's sacked for a loss of 12. And we're going to get a timeout with 2 seconds remaining in the second quarter.
A 53-yard attempt.
So with 2 ticks left here in the half, on is the field goal unit. From the left hash, this from 53 yards out. Myers' kick is good, and that will do it for this first half. So we have reached halftime here with the visiting 49ers on top. As we'll send you back over to Orlando with our EA Sports Halftime Report, here's Jonathan Coachman.
This one's been all you could hope for as an NFL fan. Just a one-point game here at halftime. This has been as much fun as you could hope for with both these teams in it to win it.
All right, Coach, thanks. Yeah, both teams likely to make some changes in what's been a closely fought battle to this point. It's the 49ers out in front, and they will get the football first as well as we are back and started in the second half. And a decent return out to the 27-yard line. The 49er offense set to go to begin quarter number 3. Now this game, it has obviously been all about the defense on both sides of the football. Which offense is going to break through here? We'll see if they can do it on this drive. Purdy going to lead the 49ers to the line, 1st and 10 at their own 27. They'll try and start this drive in the air. And the Seahawks defense gets to him, and they bring him down. Uchenna Nwosu picks up his 2nd sack of the afternoon. I'm sure a lot of time was spent in the locker room, Charles, and talking with his defense about setting a tone here in the 3rd quarter when you're down on the scoreboard. A sack like that, maybe that can get them going.
Yeah, you have to believe exactly what you just said. That they got together and said, let's be some change agents here. Let's go ahead and turn things around. Let's be the force that gets us going here in the second half and puts us in a position to find a way to win the game.
So now 20 yards to go on 2nd down after the sack. Work to be done. McCaffrey running up the middle. And he'll lose yardage here. Back to the 15. Just a 1-yard loss that time, but that's not what they needed. Now they're dealing with a 3rd and long.
This defense is just flat getting after it. They have not given up much of anything in the run game. Case in point right there.
Here is 3rd and quite a ways. Back to throw, Purdy. And that one to the right side and incomplete.
And so many times we look at the opening drive of the 3rd quarter as a tone setter, and many coaches do emphasize it, and that's a strong performance there defensively to force incompletion and, more importantly, force a quick punting situation.
Here comes the 49ers punter now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Taking it about the 36. It'll be a 47-yard punt with a net of 40 following a 7-yard return. And it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10. Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half. And both of these defenses have been stifling these last few drives offensively. Just not able to get anything going, so what needs to change?
I think a lot of the guys will go back and review, so to speak, because everyone has someone assigned to how did each play work. Okay, what did we use that kind of worked for us during this game? Try and get back to some of those plays, as well as the possibility of showing something you haven't shown already in this game and trying to change things up.
Let's see if they take the advice of Mr. Davis.
That's some good closing speed there defensively, because that looked open for a minute. But that's great work with the ball in the air. Never gave up, converged on his man, and broke the play up.
Up the middle, here's Walker.
And taking it across midfield and inside the 45.
47 yards on the ground for him now on 9 carries.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always...
Rush coming, and he's taken down. They'll wind up losing 8 on the sack there, and it's 2nd down.
Well, we've seen him escape similar situations earlier in the game and get away from pretty good yardage. At that time, they get him down.
Yeah, they've had enough evidence that he can get away and run for good yardage, haven't they? That time it felt like, okay, enough of this. Let's play it the right way and get him on the ground before he does any damage.
Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on 2nd down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18.
Quick throw caught out wide by Valdez-Scantling.
Give him a gain of 5 on the completion, and that'll make it 3rd and 13.
Not an easy spot here. They'll be in search of 13 yards to try to pick up the first.
Darnold now to throw. And down he goes. The 49ers get there. The corner blitz gets there as he goes down for a loss of 7.
And this dominant defensive performance continued on that play. This poor quarterback has now received the protection he needs and has had to pick himself up off the turf far too often.
Now here's Michael Dixon as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. And he gets it away, a directional kick going toward the sideline. And this will be out of bounds at the what here? The 12-yard line. The 49er offense now making their way out onto the field. We have not seen much on offense here from either side these last few drives. We've hit a wall, so to speak.
And have hit it hard, haven't we? Because the defenses right now, they seem to be a step ahead, don't they? Beating them to the point of attack, beating them to the punch. These offensive guys, they're tinkering like crazy. What's it going to take to get back on track?
Yeah, both sides searching for adjustments. They'll bring a tight end in motion left.
That ball caught. Brandon Ayuk.
And he'll take this across the 25 before going out of bounds. That play going for 16 yards to start the drive. 1st down.
As they began this drive, I was wondering how they were going to attack since they're playing with the lead. Would they continue to try and push the ball downfield? Well, after one play, it appears that the answer is yes.
Now Purdy. And it's nearly an interception, but it's incomplete. Well, a turnover really would have helped him there, but not to be.
That certainly appeared to be a play call where they were just trying to make 2nd down, 2nd and short. I think they thought the coverage was off a little bit more than it was. Nice job there pressing up on it and forcing the incompletion.
Purdy.
Sideline throw, it's complete. And a nice job there of keeping the toes inbounds. They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4.
I do have to admit, I like it when it all comes together. When the top part catching the football, right? Whether you're catching it with your hands or cradling it, comes together with the legs, in this case the feet, doing a little toe tap to stay in bounds and complete the catch.
And a great job by our crew on the camera shot. Love when you see the grass or on the field turf, those rubber pellets flying up. Great catch. And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks 38-yard line. A big gain of 28 as the drive continues.
It's taken a while for this offense to get going. A little creaky at the start, but they're oiled up now. A nice throw there, and they're really putting together a good drive.
So from Seahawk territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 38. From the shotgun to McCaffrey. And a very determined run there as he'll take this all the way down to the 27. Good effort. 11 more on that one and another first down.
Some big plays in the passing game on this drive, and here's one out of the running game. So the passing game loosening things up. Now there's room to roam.
Flag comes in. This might be a free play. This one caught by Kittle. And he takes it into the end zone across the chalk. Now there is a flag down, but I think that's offsides on the defense.
Yeah, I think that's going to stand, partner.
Defense.
So obviously they will decline the penalty there, and the result is 6 points.
Now Moody for the PAT.
And it's up. It's good. Our score 14-6. So the drive there took 6 plays.
And it all ends with a George Kittle touchdown. So after the made field goal by Moody, he's back out to kick this one away. And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. Seattle again getting ready to take over offensively. And they have had their problems moving the ball through the air as we take you through some of the action from earlier. This secondary has played about as well as you can. Many times they've left this quarterback with nowhere to go with the football.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense.
And really, Charles, not much of a surprise that they're losing. They just haven't been able to get much of anything going in the pass game. And as you well know, in today's NFL, if the passing game isn't working, usually not much else is working either.
Exactly right about that, partner. And I know that right now the easy answer would be, hey, let's run the football. But that might not be everything you need. So despite the fact that they've struggled throwing it, they've got to find some type of a play, multiple plays, that puts the ball in the air and allows for them to have some success.
Now it's Darnold.
On the throw, led him too much that time. It's incomplete.
At this point in the game and the situation they're in, partner, these incompletions that we're seeing, they need to turn into positive snaps, and soon.
They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on 2nd down. To throw is Darnold.
He's got his target. That's complete. And he is going to have a Seahawks first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
And that's the kind of play this offense needs to maybe kick them into gear a little bit. They've been stuck in neutral much of the game. Perhaps that can give them a little bit of confidence that big plays are out there.
Play action. It's Darnold.
Looking for Cooper Kupp again, 2 in a row.
The result, only 4 yards there on the play, and it'll be second down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
And they're not going to get to the line to run another play, so we will switch ends as the third quarter has come to a close. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. Back now in Seattle, Washington. It's the Seahawks with possession of the football, but they do trail here to begin quarter number 4. Up the middle they run. It's Walker. A solid stiff arm. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40.
61 yards rushing for him now on what was his 10th carry of the ball game.
We use the word relentless a lot with guys who are aggressive on the field. In this case, it really fits, doesn't it? How about his ability to break tackles and his feet never stop moving?
They'll look to throw now on first down.
And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's second down.
So another incompletion there. He's hitting on fewer than half his pass attempts in this one, and that is not a winning formula.
Yeah, so let's make sure we give a little bit of credit to the defense here. They've given him a lot to think about, a lot of different looks, and he seems a little bit confused trying to complete passes.
On the counter, it's Walker.
And a short gain there down to the 37-yard line. They do get a couple, but they'll be left staring at a 3rd and 8 coming up.
We talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot. He had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place. But you're right about that one. He correctly figured that one out and made a really nice play.
And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down.
Nick Bosa able to get in there for his 2nd sack of the afternoon. It has been a rough afternoon for him trying to get rid of the football. See, that's now 5 sacks.
How'd you like to be the offensive coordinator, the offensive line coach trying to come up with an answer for this pass rush? What blocking assignments do you change? Can guys play a little bit better? And we're seeing the end result on the scoreboard. Long day in the pocket for their quarterback.
Now here's Michael Dixon as he's on to punt for Seattle. No returning this one. It sails out of bounds, and they'll spot it right at the 20. They're the 49ers getting set to trot out there. They have the lead, obviously, late in the game. I guess the good news for them is if for some reason they would make a mistake, a field goal does the opposition no good.
Everyone loves to have a little bit of a cushion, and that helps you immeasurably. But the bottom line is, do all the things that you're taught in order to close out the game. Don't even let that become an issue.
Yeah, but still a one-possession game. This one not fully over yet. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3.
Brandon, you know how many times we've done games, and at the start of the 4th quarter, we see both teams hold up the 4 fingers, 4th quarter is ours. Well, how about this drive? You saw the 4 fingers for 4-minute offense, and this offensive line has really hunkered down and established themselves.
Now, this is where they say, put the game on our shoulders, we'll lead the way, right?
No doubt about it, and let me tell you, if you're a running back, all you want to do is get behind those big fellas, have a little vision, and find some space.
And a solid way to do that on the first play of the drive there. 13 yards there and a Niner first. This is something you got to be wary of defensively. I mean, just because they're in the mode of trying to burn some clock doesn't mean they won't pass it, and they got good yardage out of that one.
Yeah, and really, when you're looking at it, now they've got a fresh set of downs. Look for second down if they want to take another shot and try and loosen things up. That'd be the time to do it.
And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. Back-to-back nice plays, 12 yards that time and a first down.
Well, it is our business to analyze what we saw out there, and on that play, I saw a defense staying in base, not taking a chance, not blitzing in a situation where they absolutely need the football back. That's either a case of overthinking it or not thinking it through.
If you do blitz, do you have to be careful about where you're coming from, or are you just coming from all angles?
You have to be careful about where you're coming from, obviously, but at this stage, you have to take a few chances as well.
2 yards the gain on the keeper, and it's second down.
Anytime you decide to use your quarterback as a runner, most of the time when you design a play, you're expected to break a little bit bigger than this one, because when you run him on short gains, your risk-reward and him taking hits, I'm not sure that's the payoff they were looking for.
Delayed game.
So they accept the penalty, of course, and push the offense backwards a bit.
Still second down.
McCaffrey following the penalty. And he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line. Fourth quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a one-score game. So it's 49er football here as we get you reset. They're facing a critical third down now as they try to hold on to this lead. And he's going to be taken down right at the line. And now right out of the 2-minute break, we'll get a timeout used defensively with 1:56 to go. Here comes the 49ers punter now as he's on here to punt it away. Fair catch signaled for and taken at about the 15-yard line. So Sam Darnold in the offense. Down 14-6. 1:51 on the clock. Needing to go pretty much the length of the football field as they have it 1st and 10. Here's Darnold. Gets this to Fant. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. First play of the drive in their hip pocket. Of course, the focus here has to be the touchdown of the 2-point conversion. Field goals aren't going to help you.
Yeah, but how about that first play of the drive? Just to get them started, nice gain, got some positive momentum going. They're on their way, and they don't have to rush.
Darnold. Throw left side, complete to Cup. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. Obviously a big first down right there.
Yeah, they still got to hustle. They got to get up to the line of scrimmage and get set. But I don't think necessarily you need to spike it, but they've got to continue to move quickly.
Plenty of time and 2 timeouts still at their disposal. 1st and 10 here.
Looking right sideline, but it's incomplete.
Limited time left on the clock after that incompletion, so I think both sides are going to savor every second to prepare before the next snap. Because once the ball's in motion, it may be a nonstop push to finish this drive off. Everyone better be on the same page right now, because I think they're going to try and get several plays off in quick succession if they can.
Darnold to throw. And this throw incomplete. Well, the defender all over him that time, but it's going to lead to 3rd down.
Back-to-back incompletions, but we know this is definitely 4-down territory. Time not on their side. I don't think they want to try and get the first down in 2 installments. I think they got to go and get it right here, right now.
Now Darnold.
And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. Credit the sack to Fred Warner.
I don't know what else can be said about this pass rush. They have been sensational. CD, that is now 6 sacks for them.
And how many times do we talk to offensive coordinators and they say a sack is a result of everyone on offense not doing their job? But let's be honest about this one. This is the offensive line unable to counter the pass rush. They've been teeing off all game long.
Able to find the open man. That's complete.
And he's into the end zone. No flags. It's a touchdown. And now a two-point conversion, and we'll be tied here in the final minute.
Do they have one big call left? Here we go. The touchdown's massive, but now they've got to have two to possibly take this to overtime.
The late touchdown was only half the battle. Now they need the two-point conversion to tie the ball game. They'll try and run it in, and he will get in. The two-point conversion is good, and we may be on our way to overtime. Everything was riding on that two-point conversion, and they got it.
They got it. They now have the momentum. Time really dwindling in this game. Now their big deal is make sure they get a good kickoff and don't give up anything big on the defensive end.
This one, all we could have asked for. All tied, final minute as the kick's away here. And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27.
Out on the field now, here come the 49ers.
And Charles, obviously not much time left. I'm curious to see if there's enough for them to get into field goal range and try to win this thing.
And partner, you and I both know the safe calls to kneel and just take it into overtime. But it's also very tough to pass up a chance to win it right now as well. But remember, if you do attempt that, it's got to be a big play downfield and still leave yourself enough time to get your field goal unit out there and kick for the win.
They start on the ground with McCaffrey.
And that's not going to help a whole lot. Maybe 4 yards on first down.
So 4 quarters wasn't enough, and we are off to overtime. Don't change that dial.
So it's the Seahawks who are going to get the first crack at things. They'll possess it to start things off here in overtime. And he'll go down as this drive will start at the 25-yard line.
The Seattle now ready to march out of the field.
A long drive last time out for this offense, Charles. If you remember, they started basically in the shadows of their own end zone, marched it down the field, and a lot of that was through the passing game.
And partner, as a former defensive back, I'm having almost a physical reaction watching what's happening right now. But let's give credit where it's due, because they've done an excellent job moving the ball through the air. Secondary getting picked apart pass by pass. Obviously, they need to make some adjustments there on the back end.
And because offensively, we know that they're not going to be shy about throwing that football.
So the completion good for 6 yards, and that's going to bring up second down.
Just about every quarterback is trained to really look downfield first before you come back and make a nice, safe throw. And in this case, that's exactly what he did. Found his running back, let him create some space, and it turned out to be a nice play for the offense.
Outright to Smith and Jigba.
Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a first down. A little dinking and dunking that they're doing. At some point, is it appropriate to maybe take a shot?
It is if you feel good about it. But otherwise, you do what a coach told me a long time ago. Take what they give you, but make them tackle. In other words, get it to one of your guys in space. If he makes someone miss, that could turn into the big play you're looking for.
Out of the gun, Walker with it.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory.
81 yards rushing on 12 carries for him now.
They go with the ground game, pick up the first, now in plus territory.
And that changes the whole mentality of a play caller, doesn't it? Once they cross the 50, they feel like they're in the strike zone, all right? You don't have to be in the red zone to take those big shots downfield or go after the end zone. Right now, that might be available to him.
And now this first drive in OT continues. Now off the bootleg, Darnold. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
Nice progress down the field, was halted by that incompletion. They could try for some safe yards here to get things moving again, or keep throwing it and pushing it downfield to try and pick up bigger yardage.
Here's 2nd and 10. Hand off here to Walker.
And able to push forward for right around 3 yards down to the 42. Pretty good little two-play sequence there. You force the incompletion, then a very short pickup.
Yeah, now maybe you bring in an extra defensive back or two because you want to try and defend on 3rd down. They like to play those nickel or sub packages, don't they?
What will they draw up to try to keep this opening drive of overtime moving? 3rd and 7. He'll look to throw. And a throw there going to be incomplete. Well, I know you're toward the middle of the field here, but still, 4th down this distance, you got to punt it right.
That's definitely the first instinct because you say, okay, let's just play some field position, make sure we don't lose the game here, turn it over in a key spot. But if you feel really good about your trigger guy, if you feel great about him, you might want to leave the ball in his hands and let him work his magic.
That one sails out of bounds. The side judge will walk it off. And he says it went out of bounds at the 9-yard line. Nice punt.
The Niners set to take over on offense. Well, their defense, they did the important thing. They got the stop. They didn't allow a point, but now they're backed up here pretty far, Charles. Going to need a significant drive to try to get into position for the game-winning field goal.
Yeah, partner, don't you think that defense is on the sidelines right now saying, don't come to us with your problems about where you're starting. We did the important part. We kept them off the board, kept us in the ball game. Find a way to maneuver it downfield, at least get into field goal range, and get us a win.
And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And they'll be left with a 2nd and about a foot. This being their 2nd opportunity in overtime, 3rd overall drive. See if they can settle into a rhythm.
And that's what you're looking for. Get a few first downs, move the ball downfield, have some confidence, get yourself in a spot where you can at least kick a field goal to win it. But I tell you this, if I'm the play caller, I'm looking at that part of my sheet that says playmakers. Get the ball in their hands, critical situation, now's their time.
And a catch made by his tight end, Luke Farrer.
And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. His first catch, and it's a big one in overtime. It's a first down.
For many teams, the evaluation of tight ends has really changed. We used to wonder about how they would block first and foremost. Now we want to know how these guys can run because we envision them in offenses, catch the ball, how much yardage
up. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Shotgun handoff now to McCaffrey. Gets past one man. And he's taken down right at the 45-yard line. Chewing up big yardage. Another nice gain there. This one goes for 20.
Partner, this is a pretty good drive they're putting together. And I know if I'm on the other sideline, that offense, kind of helpless, isn't it? Because they may not touch the football at all because if they go down and score a touchdown, this thing's over.
Absolutely. That would write an ending to this script. We'll see what happens.
And throwing here, Purdy. Now, quick throw there, going to be batted away and incomplete.
Well, he certainly thought he had a window to push that ball downfield, but as soon as he released the throw, the corner was there to slam that window shut.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down.
Purdy now to throw. Connects with Kittle underneath.
That'll leave them with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
They need 2. Here's 3rd down. Purdy will set up to throw it here. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he is going to have a 49ers first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
I'm not sure that was necessarily a safety valve or a check down throw on 3rd down. Sometimes just try and find the open guy and get him the ball. He did exactly that and found a way to pick up a first down.
Purdy to throw.
Hauled in left side here by Jennings. And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. A lot of efficiency here on this drive. Heck, this may be their best drive of the game.
Yeah, if they'd moved it like this throughout the entire game, we probably wouldn't be here in overtime. But right now, what you just said was the key word, efficiency. Taking care of the ball, move it downfield, get themselves in a position to score and win this game.
And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves them with 2 to go on 2nd down. They've had some success here in overtime on this opening drive running the football. Right back to that well.
And why not? When you have that kind of success, make them stop you. And until they do, keep going back to that well you just spoke about. I think there's more water there and available to them.
They are in field goal range. 3 points now would win it. Here's 2nd down.
From the shotgun now, here's an inside give.
Some good strong running right there. Some power and some explosiveness just about got him into the end zone.
1st and goal, San Francisco.
McCaffrey, and he is in for the score. And it is absolute stunned silence here as they win it on the road in overtime. And for the visitors, it is going to be a happy flight home. It is always such a treat, Charles, in the NFL when you can go on the road and get a victory, and that's exactly what they accomplished here today.
The trip home so much sweeter, isn't it? All the noise they heard before, how tough it is to win on the road, how tough it is to play in this stadium, how hyped up that crowd's going to be. They just used it as fuel, came in full of confidence, believed in themselves, and got it done.
So that's a wrap for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, and this has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. For more